when you are the district champion?
Yes, you know, Steve, every time I can remember being in the playoffs, I didn't really give a whole lot of consideration to it. I thought we'd done a good enough job during the season to say, man, this is what we've worked for. And when it's lose or win or go home situation, I don't think you have to say too much. There might be an occasion if there's somebody really down. I would look maybe the other district in this, the other two teams from these two districts playing tonight. I could see where Edgewater could be a little overconfident looking at Seabreeze's record, but here tonight with an 8-2 team and a 10-0 team playing, I don't think anybody will look past that. And back to the Mainland practice, that old axiom that you play like you practice, I think is quite true. And if you've got a good tempo at practice and things are going well and kids are getting coached up and their attitude is right and they're focused, you can get an awful lot done. Without those things, you just will not practice. So I'm sure Mainland has done a good job. You mentioned to me they've got 12 coaches that work at Mainland High School.
Yes, Coach. They have, Coach Wilson shared with me that they have 12 coaches in the building, which, as you well know, after putting together staffs at a number of schools, it's an anomaly. I mean, that's incredible.
Without a doubt, and it goes a long way, I think, to in the last 2 years. Last year, Coach Wilson told us that his players didn't get a referral throughout the course of the season, and this year they've had one referral. And I think that speaks a lot to what those coaches do off the field at Mainland High School. I'm sure they're there to put out any fires and to encourage people to make right decisions. And so I would say that they're, having that many coaches on your campus would just have to be a blessing.
Well, kudos first of all, to their administrative staff to understand the importance of having those men there to do those jobs and be around those kids every day. I think that's important. And the coaches themselves and Coach Wilson for the job that they're actually doing. And I don't care where you're coaching at. If you're only dealing with one referral in a semester, you're doing something right. And you've got some kids that are focused. They're aimed in the right direction. In talking with Coach the other day, brought the kids in. They did about a 2-hour affirmation session. I know those kids through the summer and through the off season have worked really hard, and they've kind of had this time of year marked on their calendars. They've been disappointed 2 of the last 3 years to get it all the way to the semifinal and be beaten by the same Miami Central team. They've scouted Miami Central. I have seen Miami Central twice myself. I think they match up really well. Again, another pitfall that you could run into with your football team, although you are focused in a win or go home, when you've been down the road that far and you've been that close and you've been there, and I have to say that having been there myself, you're close enough to smell it, you're close enough to see it, and you just want to do what you got to do. We're going to get ready here. I think we're going to take a timeout. We might be ready for our national anthem. We're going to take a break right here. I didn't even know there was a clock here. You can't really see the clock that well over there. It gets a little skewed up over there when you... Hey, we're back after a short break here with Coach Yoakum. I'm Steve Allen. We are going to take a break shortly for the national anthem, but we're not ready for that. So why don't we take this opportunity, Coach, to talk about our playoff matchups of our area teams.
All right.
First of all, we've got in this very same region the Seabreeze Sand Crabs at 4-6 taking on the Edgewater Eagles.
Seabreeze, well, here comes the national anthem. So we will stop this time and they will play it. back to the Seabreeze Edgewater game over in Edgewater, Florida, which is in kind of in the center of town, I think, over there in Orlando. That football team over there has a very powerful offense, and we understand not a great defense. You never know. Scores are hard to. It's really hard to judge because you don't really know the level of the competition, but. That's the best case scenario for Seabreeze is to play somebody that they have a chance to move the ball and score some. If they're playing against a really, really tough defense, I think it might be a little tougher for Seabreeze, but we can hope that both Mainland and Seabreeze can win tonight, and if they do, there'll be a rematch right here at Municipal Stadium a week from tonight.
And I think that's an awesome setup where you got two teams that are long-time historic rivals who have an opportunity to come back and play each other. But, Coach, I think we might be getting ahead of ourselves as we have the captains getting ready. I see we've got Tow Truck Harris, we've got A.J. Westbrook, we've got Kyle Oliver, and I believe we have also number 15 there. That is Will Collins. And, Coach, Will Collins, just while we're on Will Collins, in the absence of Kalo Hanna, who could be back tonight, was at practice moving around a little bit the other day, but Will Collins has done an excellent job. I can't say enough about that as the captains meet at the middle of the field. And let's continue on. FPC goes to Lake Mary. FPC is a runner-up, and Lake Mary is a district champion. Coach, that should be a really good matchup. FPC's got Keyshawn Bortberg, the leading rusher in the area, has rushed for 1,600 or 1,700. Let me get that right. Let me get it exactly right. He has rushed, he's rushed for 1,344, and he is something else, Coach. I think is the best running back in the area. They'll have their hands full tonight at Lake Mary. What about DeLand and First Coast?
Well, I understand First Coast has an outstanding quarterback, and they're either 9-1 or 10-0, I believe. Steve,
10-0, and it's DeAndre Johnson. He's an FSU commit.
Well, I really feel like that Treasure Coast will. First Coast will take charge of that ball game.
And DeLand, and I texted Coach Thompson yesterday, just congratulating him on a great year. They had a slow start and came up with some quality wins over teams like Madison County. They beat a Seabreeze team here. We saw they've done a great job, and I think that's a good matchup. But I'm with you on that. I think First Coast has got too many guys. The next one in Class 2A. We have Winter Garden Foundation playing against our Warner Christian Eagles here.
Warner Christian has not lived up to the press that we read about at the beginning of the year with the talent that they had. They are in the playoffs. Congratulations to them for that. But, again, I'm going to take the other football team in this one.
Yeah, Foundation, I've been in that football game before, and they tend to have a lot of talent, and they've got a couple D1 commits. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. Warner Christian hasn't won a football game since October, and with a young bunch, and I'm understanding that Damaris Tillman could have an injury, and if that's the case, it's going to be a big hill to climb for the Eagles, I tell you right now, because Tillman is the heart and soul of that football team. Moving on to your favorite bunch, the Taylor Wildcats. They got to travel to Dixie County.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The last time I read anything about Dixie County, Ted Leeser was the coach there. I'm sure that's probably changed a couple times since then, but I believe that my Pearson team will have a tough road tonight. It'll be a long bus ride home, I'm afraid.
Coach, I wish I were in Dixie. It's a popular Southern song, but I don't think many football teams are singing that song growing there, because I tell you, they do a great job, and they're outstanding at Dixie County, and they rush the football, and I think that Taylor will have their hands full there, and I don't. That would be a tremendous upset as the Buccaneers take the field. Coach, let's talk about the crowd tonight.
Well, from where we can see, it appears to me again to be the typical thing that fans are more interested in a local matchup than they are in a playoff game, and I can guarantee you that if, and I know we're ahead of ourselves, but if Mainland were to rematch with Seabreeze tonight, this crowd would be double what it is tonight. But not a big crowd, but Mainland is notoriously a late arriving crowd.
Correct.
So we'll see the stands may fill up as time goes by.
But as we look out at the road, you can generally tell when that's going to happen. It does not appear that that's going to be the case. And one of the things that takes place with that too, Coach, is the other teams, there are only, 4 area teams that are playing or whatnot, and those teams get either put out or what, and other schools bring people and fans, and it adds to the whole allure. So it looks like the Buccaneers are getting set to receive, and it should be Angel Puente for the South Lake Eagles teeing it up in the middle of the field and getting ready to get this thing started. Coach, I'm excited about this.
I am excited about this too, Steve. As you well know, this is what everybody lifts all the weights for in the summer. We see that on the NFL highlights. We hear people talk about it all the time, but playoff football is just, in my estimation, there's nothing like it.
It's awesome. I explained to both coaches as I talked to them on the field before the game here how big a difference the 2 feet between us was, and all the internal strife that you've got going on as a coach right now, getting ready to kick this thing off, and we're set to go. And I know both teams are antsy to get it started, and we're going to get this thing going here. As Angel Puente gets ready to approach it, we're going to kick this thing off, and we're going to have a football game, Coach.
Here we go. Nice deep kick, going to be fielded on about the 8-yard line by Mainland.
Looks like Will Collins, maybe.
Will is upfield, reverses his field. He's got some green grass in front of him, and Mainland's field. That's number 19. That may be Westbrook.
Westbrook, Coach, and it's a good return. They're out to the 34-yard line. Mainland will take over right there, and we get to see our area leader, Denzel Houston, and what a year he's had, Coach. Denzel Houston is just, his quarterback rating is 193, which is just off the charts. 2,100 yards, 25 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions, and he's just been exceptional.
And he's just a sophomore. I heard a lot about him last year. I saw him play a little bit of wide receiver on last year's team, came in and got a little experience at quarterback, but this has been his show this year, and we have a hold on the play.
So we have a penalty already to start off. There's one.
Well, these officials are also probably from out of town, too, I would expect.
Yes, sir. I'm sure that all the different regions are getting officiating crews that will come and travel, and the FHSA controls that.
I always felt that the pace of the game picked up when you got to the playoffs. They seemed, the referee, the good crews seem to get the ball spotted and get you ready to play, and you better be ready to go.
They sure do, and one of the tough things with that is you don't know how to handle, some of those crews because you've handled them before. These crews are new, so you as a staff, you have to kind of manage that too and how they're going to call the ball game. It's first and 10.
Mainland's in trips to the right. They're going to hand the ball. Oh, play fake, nice play fake, and a slant down the middle. Is that Will? We'll have to see a number here.
See the numbers,
number 24 on the catch.
Coach, that's number 24. That would be Randy Baker.
Randy Baker with the first catch of the night, first down. Mainland has moved the ball up into the territory of the South Lake team here. And they're back in the shotgun with the trips again.
Moving fast,
fake, yep. A little hitch pattern to the middle, number 9 or 8 on the reception. Can't see the number yet.
Jeremy Wheeler there on the stop for, he's taking the ball from him, but I think they're going to give forward progress.
It's a good call, I believe. Yeah, a gain of about 5. Mainland will have second down here. They're a no-huddle football team. Flip the receivers around based on the field. Now they're trips to the right again, which is into the boundary, the short side of the field. That always told me slant to the field with a single receiver, but we'll see what we get here.
Bringing some pressure here.
Same play again as the first pass. Just a little inside cut and ball thrown right on time, picking up the first down. Mainland, this seems to be firing on all cylinders at this point.
Got the South Lake defense on their heels. They've got big Carey, Samiti, who's a commit and a really fine player. He's got 2 D1 offers, and it's a little high.
Yeah.
Good defense there. We've got number 33, Trace McEwen, who's one of their standouts. And talking to Coach, he's a junior safety. His father's Terry. He's a volunteer coach with them. They've got a number of young men who their dads are on the staff. They have 3, actually. Tony McCoy's one, former Gator. And his son will be in there getting it done. It's TJ, number 70, 6'3", 295.
Doubles formation, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Adrian Killens, the running back, in the backfield. One of the things that Mainland does is they call a snap count to check the defense, and they check the sideline and see what kind of play they want to run. So first time we've seen doubles formation.
And they're bringing both inside backers on a run blitz, and they beat it, Coach.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they sure did. Killens somebody hit him about the line of scrimmage, but he ended up making maybe a little over 9 yards. It's going to be short yardage for the first down here.
Makes it tough on you if you're going to bring inside pressure and you don't make the tackle. Then the secondary's gotta be tacklers. Those safeties are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage here, Coach, and I'm not sure this coverage They're cheating it out here right now.
We got doubles again, 2 receivers to each side. Killens fake, and up the middle goes our quarterback right here, Denzel Houston, picks up the first down. So now we've run the quarterback, we run the tailback, and we've thrown to several different receivers right here. It's hard to figure out who Southlake might key on because they've got so many weapons in blue.
They sure do, Coach, and they're doing a good job of mixing it up and spreading the ball around.
Double formation again, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Adrian Killens on the right of the quarterback. He's going to flare. And, we got an out pattern on the sideline, caught. Going to be inside the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2.
Yep, gain of 8 right there. I tell you what, he's been spot on so far, Coach. Throwing the ball well. I actually thought he was trying to get the ball to the back end.
I did too.
Right there.
Yeah, but nice timing route. Just as soon as the receiver broke, the ball was there. Trips to the left, which is the wide side of the field. Adrian Killens is looking to see which side he's going to line up on, which is also the left. That gives them a really strength formation to the left. 1 single receiver to the right. They've got 2 men over there on him. Here we go. Killens, they're not going to cover the number 3 receiver, and they're just going to keep throwing it to him. That's about the 4th throw to the number 3 receiver. Again, that was Randy Baker on the catch.
Well, they're bringing 2 and 3 backers at a time, and they're leaving some soft areas, and those wideouts are doing a good job of getting in there. And Mr. Houston's doing a fine job of finding them right here. In Mainland, we're 3 minutes in. We're not even 3 minutes in yet, and Mainland has matriculated the ball all the way down to the 3.
All right, we got trips left, ball in the middle of the field. Here comes Killens with the run, touchdown Buccaneers.
Coach, that was pretty efficient right there.
Yes, it was. Hardly any mistakes other than the hold on the kickoff return.
This is indicative of what was going on at practice, just like you alluded to earlier. You know, you practice like you play. These guys have come out, they're firing on all cylinders, and they are getting it done.
Mainland comes out in their muddle huddle. They've got 3 linemen and a receiver to the left and 3 to the right. Then they're going to shift in for their extra point.
Pete Baudette in to kick. He's 33 for 34. Make it 34 for 35. And the Buccaneers are up with 9:17 left. It's 7-0, just like that, Coach. Not even 3 minutes into the ball game, and the number 1 ranked team in the state is on the scoreboard.
Well, we'll see now how Mainland's going to defend if we see DeVere from Southlake. We'll see what Mainland's plan is there. They typically bring their inside linebackers to try to bust up everything and try to mess up the timing. If Southlake can block those guys, it'll be just like you were talking about a while ago. You bring those linebackers against the option. If you don't get there, you can have some big plays run against you, but Mainland usually gets there.
Well, one of the things that people tend to be leery about running the option against somebody who's much faster than you on defense. You have some make-up speed. You can get there. You can make some mistakes and get it downhill. It's not so much the pitch. It generally is the dive component of it that kind of hurts you and how you can pop on him. You know, you got those safeties. We always try to teach our safeties we want to play pop to bounce, because the bounce you have a chance to run down. The pop, if you make a mistake and go to bounce and it's pop, well, you're out of position. Pete Baudette's got it left hash, 40-yard line, set to kick it off.
We've seen a variety of kickoffs from Mainland throughout the course of the year. We'll see what they choose to do tonight.
Worked really hard on special teams the other day, Coach. They're going to let this ball get on the ground. There's McEwen, 33, sees a little seam, gets it up to the 26-yard line, and Nick Gadetti, the quarterback for Southlake, will take over there, and we're going to see what kind of plan the Southlake Eagles have for this vaunted Mainland defense that's only given up 13 second-half points in the entire year, and I guess that's how you become number 1 in the state.
They have really lived off their defense. Their offense seems to be clicking, but we'll see how the defense goes here.
Gadet's there. It looks like he's joined with Hutchinson in the backfield. McEwen may be the other one. We got motion, and we're going to have a little procedure here. Everybody's just a little antsy trying to get off the ball. That's number 63 right there. That is Rice Armati. Rice is a senior. And Coach, just checking the roster, this Southlake bunch has 24 seniors, Coach.
You like that this year. You don't like it much next year.
No doubt.
But this year, that's what you're looking for, is that senior leadership. Here we go.
And we've basically got what I would call a left weak, kind of situation. And we're just going to run power in there, running it down from the backside. Maybe a gain of 1 on 1st and 15. And we alluded to it all year. when you get these 2 and more than 10s and the 3 and 8s and 9s, these are just not manageable downs. Now, I will say this, Coach, in looking at Guidetti's stats, the quarterback for Southlake, he's thrown for 1,800 yards. They have 2 wideouts that have, 15 touchdowns between them, 650 yards and 580 yards, and we've got another flag on the field.
There's too many players in the Southlake huddle. They broke it out with 12. One went to the sideline, and the referee says you can't do that. So they're going to be in a deep, deep hole here.
Just the kind of thing the start that you don't want, allowing Mainland to take the ball and march straight down the field and score, and you come out and you're hit with 2 straight penalties and basically looking down the barrel of a second and about 19 or so, and it's not ideal. But now we're going to spread it out a little bit here. We have 3 wideouts in the game. Or at the very least, we have 3 people split wide. I don't know if they're all wideouts, but they have 3 out there. We're trying to throw a little bubble screen to the number 3 receiver. That's number 7, DJ Allen. DJ's 5'4", 147, Coach.
I wondered if the Southlake team had weights on their program, because their offensive line does not look as big as some we've seen here this year.
I've got 280, 280, 295, 280, and 290. Those are not the starters, but those are the biggest linemen that they have listed on their roster. Yeah, and I see big brother McCoy in there. He's got pretty good size. These guys are all seniors. They have 7 senior offensive linemen. Here's a little inside view. And the Mainland defense is there to corral it. And once again, we put ourselves in these situations, and just not manageable. And we're going to have a punt situation here.
A scary time. I'm sure that the coach from Southlake, his heart is beating fast as Mainland sends 2 receivers deep. That's number 24, Randy Baker, and number 8. And number 8 is Wilford Taylor. Wilford has played a lot here in the absence of their injured wide receiver.
Set to receive Brandon Walker's punt. Brandon's also a wideout. They get it off. It's going to get a good roll if it gets past him, and he collects it on the 41, and they've got a return here, Coach.
Pretty good job of coverage there.
Southlake does a nice job. Maybe 8 on the return, and Mainland's going to set up shop on the right hash on about their 49-yard line.
That was kind of a middle return. Typically, you'll see Mainland's team and the defensive line, if you're watching the game tonight, watch them kind of peel out when they're returning the punts to set the wall. That's where the big hits come from.
Watched them work really hard on their special teams the other day. They spent some time on it, and like I said, it was crisp, and a lot of teams give some lip service to special teams, but really don't treat it as they should. And I can tell you just from being out there that the Buccaneers were getting after it pretty good.
Well, I think that probably is something that Bud Asher started there many years ago. All right, here we go. We got trips to the left here. 1 single back. That's Adrian Killens on the left. He takes the ball, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
They were running it right into the teeth of the pressure there. Again, another inside linebacker blitz. These guys are, number 26. That's Justin Ford. Justin's a senior, 6'1", 186. And Southlake is showing pressure in a kind of a cover 1 look.
Nice move by Killens at the line of scrimmage, and he's busted loose about a 20-yard gain. Going to be inside the 30-yard line at the 28, and first down.
They are going to go fast again, and you don't need much of a crease for Mr. Killens to get to the house on you, and they were not far away right there.
He can stop and start on a dime. He steps in there and then makes his cut.
Certainly can.
We've got a whistle blowing. There's time to make sure that the chains are set.
Yeah, we got a little technical difficulty over there. Mainland's moving so fast the chain gang can't keep up. Look like a confident football team tonight, Coach.
They certainly do. They look well prepared and, as you said, confident, and that's so important. Great poise again by the 2 sophomores in the backfield, Killens and Houston. Area team's going to have to worry about them for the next 2 years, and they're class athletes, and I like the way they conduct themselves on the field as well.
Absolutely, and just spending a little time around them, they just portray themselves very well.
Trips left again by Mainland. Killen's on the left. He steps up to pass protect. It's going to be a deep ball, but Houston is going to use his dodging. Is he going to throw it, or is he's going to take off and run right here? And he made about a 4-yard gain on the run. He's down to the 25, maybe 24-yard line. Brings up second down and about 6.
Chased out of bounds by number 44, Freddie Key there. Southlake, they're in a little bit of a man situation, which is scary. Once it breaks down, we got a bunch of backs to the ball. You can't find it.
Yeah, and it looks like we're playing a little man-free right here, and we're going to bring at least one linebacker. Mainland in their double set. They've run more than they've thrown out of this, and we've got a flag on the field by the side judge, offsides on the defense.
Yep, Hunter Howard was up in there jumping, and I think what he did is he made Kerry Samedi jump himself and try to time that pressure up. These inside linebackers are getting the workout. Nick Morey, Hunter Howard. They've probably blitzed already 5 times. And you just have to be careful to not blitz yourself out of a play, trying to blitz into one.
Beautifully thrown ball off the fingertips of Wilford Taylor, I believe. Yes, it is. Going to bring up third and 1 here, it looks like.
Brady Wheeler for the Eagles is there, the safety, and looked like he was just a little tentative, and he might have been able to make a play on that football right there.
Yeah, he kind of pulled up in the middle.
Pulled up and gave the wideout a chance to. I think the wideout thought that he was going to make the play.
Got a penalty against Mainland. They're trying to decide whether to take it or not, and yes, they are. So, repeat second down, but we got a ineligible receiver.
Downfield.
Now, that might be loss of down. I'm not sure. Guess not.
I guess not. He says we're going to replay, and here we go. It's 2nd and 5.
Trips right for Mainland. All right.
From the Southlake 24.
He's going to tell us. Water break. Oh, I see. The referee's telling them we're going to stop the clock and get a drink.
Well, while they take a water break, we're also going to take a break. We'll be right back from Larry Kelly Field with the score 7-0. 6:12 remains. Mainland, Southlake. We'll be right back. We're back. Coach Steve Allen along with Rocky Yoakum. 6:12 remains in the first quarter. 7-0 the Mainland Buccaneers, and they're on the drive. We have a 2nd down and 5 from the Southlake 24-yard line, and Mainland seems to be doing what they would like to do offensively.
All right, we've got a trips to the field. Killen steps up to pass protect, trying to go to the single receiver on the left. Jump ball pass.
Touchdown.
Number 4.
What a play by
Cyrus Fagan.
Cyrus Fagan, he just takes an inside release on the go, and the DB's in pretty good shape, but just cannot make the play on just a superior athlete.
That's right. Superior is correct. Cyrus Fagan is the son of Jeff Fagan, who I have known and been friends with for a very long time. I'm sure Jeff is here tonight. He is still on the staff at Bethune-Cookman. They had a tough loss last night up at Hampton, but I'm sure Coach Fagan is here tonight to watch his son. Here we go with this muddle huddle look.
Pete brought that in.
And they're going to go.
They're going to snap it. They're going to run a play. They're going to throw the fade route.
Another jump ball just up and over.
And we're going to get a roughing, I'm certain, on Nicholas Morey. A little bit of frustration by number 4 there on Southlake. You know, you've traveled down here and you start the football game and we're 6 minutes in and you're already down, 2 scores. And that's just a little frustration. They're going to have to find a way to thwart that and get back to trying to play some football. They need to get their offense untracked here, or this is going to be a long night for the Eagles.
If this is enforced on the kickoff, which I think it will be if it's a 15-yard penalty, I was raised that it was a cardinal rule that if you had a 15-yard penalty, you would always onside kick it because the gamble was worth what, even if you didn't get it, you were close enough. So if they mark off 15, Mainland will either kick it in the end zone or they could attempt an onside kick here. So we want to be alert for that. Got some new players coming in on the kickoff return team, so I would not be the least bit surprised if this wasn't an onside attempt.
I see big number 10, Ja'Kai Polite, Coach, and I mentioned this to you before. He could be the best-looking guy in all of Central Florida in a football uniform, Coach. He can punt it. I watched him at practice run routes the other day. He plays defensive end. He is just a phenomenal athlete. You know, last night on the USC game, we watched Leonard Williams play, who's going to be a number 1 draft pick, probably top 5 pick. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ja'Kai Polite has at least that kind of potential. He really does.
That's wonderful. That is good to hear.
And I think that you're right about the risk here. I mean, you're kicking the ball out of their territory, 10 yards, and they recover it. They still only have it on the 35. You've stopped them. You're 2 scores up.
I don't think there's any doubt.
There's no doubt at all. Is it one bounce up, and they're going to get it, Coach.
Yes, they are. They can't advance it.
Well, just too easy right there. Pete Baudette with a superb onside kick.
Beautiful.
Second bounce comes up. It's like doing it against Dare, Coach.
It sure is. I mean, that last guy over there on the end that got the kick, and that may have been Polite. I'm not sure. Yes, it is. He's walking off with the ball. His rule is don't let the ball go out of bounds. So he just sprints down the sideline and then squares up, and the ball took the perfect bounce, and he just grabbed it, knew he couldn't advance it, so he just held it up, and Mainland will take over, leading 15-0. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they're 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line of South Lake.
The execution there was just impeccable, no doubt. And this South Lake defense has got to feel a little bit embattled already, and they're looking right down the barrel of a short field.
Sprint pass, stop, throw back on the post, and it's intercepted
by Corey McEwen. I believe that is Trace McEwen.
And it should be a touchback. The momentum of the interception carried him into the end zone. So we'll bring the ball to the 20. Big break there. Maybe not a break. Well played by the defense from South Lake.
Very well played. I don't think that's the best ball that he's thrown. He kind of got that on the backside of the post there, and McEwen's there to make a good play. McEwen's been a great ball player for him all year. He's got 5 TDs and 33 catches as an offensive player, and I think he's just one of those guys that have to take a lot of reps for this South Lake team and been a big part of their success. Coming back out in basically a twin-O kind of deal with the split-back veer, and they're eating up the dive, the quarterback, and the whole deal. There's no game, no place to go there.
That was the outside veer, the tight end block down. If we had a chalkboard and some time, we could go over the veer for you. But the inside veer hits over the guard tackle spot, and the outside veer hits over the tight end spot, and you're hoping it confuses the defensive end, who usually has quarterback on the option, but no confusion there.
No, Coach, you've got to be able to block them a little bit to run either veer, and they just ate it all up. There was nothing there. They were at the mesh point, and they just ate it alive. This Mainland defense it's something. There's something else, and we're going to throw the ball here. Oh, great. I thought it was a great throw. Gadetti looks to throw out here. It was a good-looking ball. He's trying to get the ball to McEwen on the stop route. Overthrows. We're going to be back into that 3-10 situation for South Lake, and this is just not the start that you want. Down 15-0. You get a good break, and you basically have yet to move the ball yard.
Yeah, that was the Mike linebacker, Hamilton, that was clear over here on the out. Mainland just continues to have fast players year after year after year.
He's their leading tackler, Coach. Oliver's done a good job over the last 2 weeks, but he's their leading tackler. Has done a great job. Sprint pass, pressure's on from the front side, from the back side, and from the middle, Coach. There's nowhere to go. This is going to be a punt situation for the South Lake Eagles.
All right, and then once again, if you're watching tonight, when the ball snapped, just keep your eye on the defensive linemen here and see how they react. If you follow them, you're liable to end up seeing a big hit if they start to peel to the right or the left. 2 guys back again, Wilford Taylor, and I'm going to guess that's number 19, Arthur Westbrook, back with him, but I can't see for sure. Nice high punt.
Brandon Walker's punt's going to be fielded off the first, off the second, third, fourth hop.
Oh, it's kicked. It's mud. All right, here we go. And it's going to be Southlake on the 2, or maybe a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. What we got?
Well, they're trying to signal safety, and I don't think it's a safety. I think it'll either be a touchback. If Mainland recovered it, it'll be a touchback, I would guess.
Yes, sir. They're signaling for touchback. Coach Oakham, that ball, that football play right there covered 80 yards of the football field.
Sure did.
It was bobbled, it was dropped, it was fumbled, it was kicked, and I believe that you are correct in your call. I think this should be a touchback.
That will mean, if anybody makes a high school bloopers film, that play will be on it.
That play will be on it. Southlake had their opportunities right there. They had an opportunity to recover it about the 2, and then it scored it out again into the end zone, and I really thought that they were going to be on it, and then the Mainland player who we could not see just got in there and just got to it.
That is such a break for the Mainland Bucks right there. That's something Southlake really, really needed, something good to happen, and that could have been it. But it didn't, so the Buccaneers will take over. They're going to go trips to the right. Adrian Killens is right now lined up on the right side of the quarterback. He may move if they change the call. We'll see.
Number 1 team in the state takes the football again, having already scored 15. More inside pressure from Southlake.
Here comes Adrian Killens. Nice move outside. Good contained there by the corner. He made about 4. If you can hold Mainland to 4, you feel pretty good about that.
That's Chris Freeman. Mark Woolham, the head coach for Southlake, said that number 9, Chris Freeman, was his biggest surprise this year. He said he's played great for him. He's somebody they had to replace their secondary, and he said he's done a really nice job for him.
Again, trips right, fake that same play, throw the little bubble screen right there. Southlake rallies to the ball, and they're going to bring up a 3rd down, see if they can stop the Bucks here. We got about a 3rd and a long 2.
I'll be looking for that pretty soon against that man coverage. It's tough to throw that little stop route or the little bubbles. They're going to give them a bubble go, stop and go. They're going to give them that and get behind them, Coach, because it's just tough to play both of them that tightly.
Here we go. We're going to fake. Houston keeps the play alive, scrambles, and he's hauled down for a loss of about 4. So it's going to bring up a punting situation. That'll bring in Polite to do the punting. And the Southlake team stops Mainland for the first time tonight, 15-0 with 3:40 remaining in the first quarter.
Hunter Howard in there on that stop. They did a nice job of containing the cutback once he scrambled, and that's where Mr. Houston has made a lot of hay this year as far as just getting out, breaking contain, finding receivers down the field, running for big gains. And Ja'Kai Polite, one of the most phenomenal athletes in all of Florida, I think, is in to punt the football for the first time tonight for the Buccaneers. Deep to receive. I think we have Trace McEwen is back here again. Trace does just about everything for this Southlake Eagle team. Good high punt. Signal for a fair catch right here. So, it's number 3 actually. It's Brandon Walker back. Does a good job on the fair catch. Southlake's going to set up shop here. It appears to be on about the 48-yard line. Best field position of the night. But, Coach, it's not going to matter if you can't gain a yard.
That's right. That is exactly right. And we've talked a lot about Ja'Kai Polite and his physical talents and all the things he can do. If you wonder who he's going to play for next year, it's going to be the Mainland Bucks because he's just a junior.
He is just a junior and just a phenomenal junior. We've got 3 wideouts in the game and in their veer setup. Let's see what they've got. Okay, we're going to get the ball out on the pitch. Oh, and we've got a little bit of a play, but I tell you what, it closes down fast. But, hey, you're going to take a gain of 5.
Absolutely, if you get 5.
Yes, sir. You're going to take a gain of 5. You're going to make this a second and manageable situation.
I think I could count on one hand the number of times I made yards running sideways against Mainland's defense. It's just, to me, it's quick hitters are the answer, but that'll keep them honest at least. They know they got to have that guy assigned to the pitch to stay out there. So we'll see how that goes.
Popular term these days, Coach, is population to the ball. Mainland does as good a job of that as anybody. Wow. Coach, they're still trying to run some veer here.
Yes,
and they got a flag. I'm not sure what. Side judge coming in. We're having a little conversation.
As you folks are watching the game tonight, when they run that veer, you'll see the quarterback just take the ball and work right down the rumps of those offensive linemen, and nobody can get knocked back, or he can never get down the line to make the handoff. So they're a well-coached Veer team, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
It's just, at some point the personnel's got to take over. Got a 5-yard penalty against Southlake here. Repeat second down.
Schemes are wonderful, and you can do so many things. There's a lot of ways to draw it up and to go about it. And at the end of the day, you can execute well, and if you can't block them, it's just not going to matter. And right now, Southlake is just struggling to block them. I think their 3-wide out set here is maybe their best option. Mainland's got into a little bit of a split look here with their 50 front, and we're going to throw the pop pass in the middle. McEwen with a great throw. It's a great throw and catch. It's a first down for Southlake. Just a little pop pass off the Veer. I guess it's a great call when they're in there crowding it up, and every time you put it in his belly, there's 4 guys there, and generally those linebackers are coming to help on that, so they can't support the secondary on the little seam route, or the dump, as we would call that. I don't know what you call that, Coach, but they're going to have to find some of those ways to move the football.
It appears that on this drive, Southlake kind of is getting their sea legs back here a little bit. They were shocked early in the ball game, but this drive has been a nice, consistent drive of run and pass.
Had they gotten the fumble and maybe gotten something there, it could be a completely different gig. But they're going to have to finish this. Getting first down sometimes feels like an accomplishment against this defense.
Going to have a delay.
Going to have a delay,
right,
and you just can't. You can't do it. And Coach, I would wager to say that they don't have 7 plays.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'd like to think that you could find one of those 7, get that call in the game. We're going to wave that off. Had a flag on the field.
Well, the flag was for delay of game.
Yep.
It must have got a timeout. Someone must have
called it. Yep, they must have got it ahead of time. And you don't know with that rule of the coach being able to call it to the side judge over there. You don't always see that as you're focused on the action that's going on in the middle of the field. Each team's going to take a break and talk with their coaches. While we do that, Coach, was 144 left in the first quarter. It's 15-0 Mainland. We don't have any updates as yet on any of our other playoff games, as we do have a number of teams that are involved in the playoffs. I'd like to think that 2 or 3 of our teams in the area could advance, but that's why we play the game.
That's exactly right. We've got 1st and 10 here for Southlake. As the game goes along, we're going to be reading you some things from the Florida High School Activities Association about sportsmanship and some of the things. So the next time we get a little break, we'll read you another one of their thoughts about sportsmanship, which is so important.
Southlake back to work here. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of Mainland. Nick Gadetti surveys the field. We've got a little motion. Change the formation a bit. They're going to throw it, Coach. It's a little halfback pass.
Look, nobody was open. He broke. Oh, if he could have kept his feet, could have gone on down the sideline. You're right. It was halfback pass. Mainland was not fooled.
Brandon Walker, number 3, they just motioned over there like they were going to overload it, and they tried to throw. I did not see downfield if he had a man open, but Brandon Walker had no chance. It's just everything happens so fast against this Buccaneer defense. You've got to get it done right now, because the longer it takes to develop, the more people that are going to be around the guy with that brown thing.
You're so right. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10.
Got Walker and DJ Allen split to the left. Gadetti's joined by Hutchison. We're going to throw he's got him, Coach.
If he catches it, yes, he had him open.
Walker.
Good, pretty nice ball. Walker kind of got twisted around there a little bit.
I think he was late in finding it, Coach.
Yep.
He was just late in finding it. It was a great throw by Gadetti. Again, you can't have a kid that's thrown for 1,800 yards in a Veer type offense. They've made some plays through the air, obviously.
Yeah, and a good speed there, because that receiver was behind the Mainland corner, and you don't see that very often.
Coach, you really don't, and that's a great point. That there's just a handful of times we've seen, even with American Heritage, which that was the only offense that they really had, was to throw the ball deep. With the great talent they had, they didn't get behind these guys. Got to play here, Coach.
Yeah, sure do. Nice read by the quarterback. He kept it. It could have been a face mask. It looks like it's not going to be called. It's going to bring up 4th and down. I believe it's 4-down territory here for Southlake.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be. You're outside of field goal range here. And they're coming to the line of scrimmage. They've got one for it. Again, they break the huddle with Hutchison and looks like Brain in the back with him, 22.
Yep.
Making a call. They're going to throw the football. Oh, it throws the stop route. Backside,
nice catch.
Backside shoulder, coach. That's good football right there.
That is. Well, you're not 8-2 without being able to do some things pretty good, and that was pretty good right there. Yeah.
Coach Willem's daddy played quarterback for Kentucky in the 50s. He is a Kentucky guy. He's from Pikeville, which is right across the line from Virginia there. And he's not far from where I'm from. And Kentucky's got a long history of throwing that thing around. And I think Coach Willem, who's also his brother, was the head coach at Union College. So he spent time there. He worked with Bud O'Hara at East Ridge for 8 years. And got a little toss play. They're trying to get it outside. They may get one or two. I can't really see here.
Looks like the ball's going to be on about the 15-yard line. Speaking of Bud O'Hara, he was the head coach at Madison County when I took the team up there years ago.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Bud O'Hara's a fine football coach.
Really good football coach.
When Coach Willem was with him, he said he had some buddies that tried to tell him he was making a lateral move. Said he went over there with them. He said all they did was win 34 consecutive regular season ball games, and Bud O'Hara did quite a good job at East Ridge.
All right, folks, FHSAA Sportsmanship Promo. Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. This message is provided by this station and the FHSAA.
Quite an undertaking by the FHSAA, these playoffs. You know,
my goodness, yes, 8 classes now. I've seen that grow from, I believe there might have been 5 when I first moved to Florida 30 years ago, and only the district champions won. I think one of the biggest pluses that they did was to let the runner-ups advance in the playoffs.
Absolutely, and I think it's a good rule. I mean, I think that it's money-driven to a certain extent, and there's some revenue there. But what it also does is a participation component to it.
Well, it just keeps your keeps your hopes up. Mm-hmm. If you say my main purpose is to go to the state playoffs, and in the second week of the season you already see that's done, but when you can fight for that runner-up job, that keeps everybody's hopes up. So here we go. We're starting the second quarter. It's second down from the 15-yard line. Second and about 5. I formation for the first time.
Walker and McEwen split left. They're the two main receivers. And I tell you what, they continue to try to get the football outside. And I understand that you have to try to get the football outside a little bit to keep them honest. I just don't see them making a living doing that. This is a defensive lineman, Kevin McCrary, running that down from the inside. And you're going to have to slow them down a little bit to get it there. It's awfully tough against quite an athletic team.
Yeah. We just took all the plays that went sideways and just marked them off the board when we started to play. Sometimes I called them later on because there was nothing. The inside plays weren't working either. But
right, and that's what a great group of defenders can do to you. When you look inside there and you got Walker, McCrary, Polite, and Brunson, that is pretty sporty, I will tell you. And then when you take Hamilton and Oliver, line them up behind, and that great group of secondary, who are all Division I type players. We got a fade route, coach. He's got to play here.
Oh, what a nice ball.
Man,
I'd like to see him put both hands on it, but nice throw.
It was a great throw. It's the second one of those he's done. Again, Nick Gadetti is 5'10", 150. He's a senior, one of 24 seniors on this football team. So South Lake will probably be back to that kind of a rebuild kind of deal next year. They have 24 seniors, 12 juniors, 2 sophomores, and 1 freshman.
Wow. That
they have listed on their roster tonight. I look for Evans and Hutchison to be in the backfield with Gadetti. We got a tight end in the football game.
Pop pass again.
We're going to get a penalty here, and there was really no reason for the defender to put his hands on the back.
Nope.
And they're going to get him with that. That's number 4. They're trying to get the ball to Nicholas Moray. It's 5'10", 212-pound senior.
Well, ever since that punt that was pushed all over the field and finally into the end zone. Since that time, Southlake has held their own defensively and on offense as we move into 11 minutes here to go in the second quarter.
And you made the point, Coach, you don't win 8 of 10 of your football games and not have done some good things and had some confidence and some good things that have happened to you through the year. And I think you're right. I think they're just now realizing that this group is not.
I think that should bring it to a first and goal. The down marker still says 4. I'm sure they'll get that fixed.
They'll fix that, Coach, because it's going to be first and goal from the 8-yard line for the Southlake Eagles. It would appear that Moray has come back in the ball game, and they're going to be in the eye, Coach.
One thing we've seen from this is toss sweep. I saw him run a lead in practice. Here's the lead.
Yep.
Nice bounce, nice cut.
Excellent job.
That's right.
Leonard Robinson's first carry tonight, number 21. Like you said, just a lead play out of the I formation. They bring in big Nick Moray, who's 212 pounds. And we've got an Eagle injured. And
big Eagle.
Yes, it is. And that is brother T.J. McCoy. Dad is Tony, played for the Gators. And TJ's 312 pounds, 295 at 6'3". I got to stand beside him down there, Coach. He's a large human. He is a large human, and he nicked up, but he's running off the field. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he'll be back. His daddy won't allow it.
I don't think he will.
All right, here we go. They've come down. They've decided this eye is the way to go down here inside the 20.
Hutchison and Moray line up behind Guidetti, and we got a slow snap to run an ISO, and it is just hammered for no gain.
We'll bring up a third and goal here. It'd be a big decision to make if they don't score here. I would think they'd go ahead and go for it down 15. But we've got third down to run first.
Eagles need something good to happen for them here. They need to punch this in. They're going to stay in the eye, Coach.
Yeah, they sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see a boot pass off this. Oh, just a quick slant.
Oh, it's batted up in the air, and it is
intercepted and dropped. Nope, no interception on your incomplete pass. I thought they might play action that, but it was just a little quick slant out there, well defended by the corner, ball tipped up, linebacker couldn't come up with it.
What a great play, and I can't tell if it's Brunson or Harris. It's one of those defensive linemen stopped short, got his hands up, and created an interception opportunity for the secondary there. They don't come up with it, but puts the Eagles into a fourth down situation, and they're going to come back out. They're going to stay in the eye. I would call that twin-o. Is what I would call that, twin-o to the left. They're going to throw the football, and they're going to get the ball out.
Drop the football. There we go. Mainland's defense as advertised.
Huge play. They bring a little pressure. They're just up the middle. They can't block them. The ball's loose. Southlake turns it over, not even on downs, but through the fumble. And Mainland's going to set up shop right here at the 14-yard line. And any momentum that the Eagles had kind of set up and garnered there, they've kind of given back to the Buccaneers, and then not that the Buccaneers need any help.
No, they do not. And that'll be up to the Southlake defense to see if they can hold Mainland down here in this end of the field and see if they can get the ball back for Southlake. Mainland is going to come out with the one wide receiver on each side. Looks like we're going to have trips to the left. Adrian Killens on the right of the quarterback. And we've got a tight end this time, so we've got tight end and two wide receivers left. Killens on the cut, one cut upfield, and makes about 12.
Lightning, Coach. He's lightning.
You coach a lot of players, and the way I coached that was just tell them make one cut and live with it. And boy, he does. He just goes when he sees some daylight. He plants his foot and gets upfield.
The good ones all look like they're running on a rail.
Yep.
They just look like they're just running on a rail.
Again, the tight end speed option to the right. Pitch well covered there by Southlake. We're going to have a loss of yardage here. It's going to bring up a second down from the 22-yard line, it looks like.
26, Justin Ford getting out there on the pursuit. Nobody fooled there. I think Mainland's taking a look at some different things here, Coach. They're giving us some different formations.
Sprint left pass. pull up, dodge, get 2-3 guys around. Here he goes. There's a nice block by the wide receiver, and there goes Houston down the sideline, lost his footing. Going to be down on about the 38-yard line, it looks like, of South Lake. It's going to be a
gain of about 45.
Yeah. It's as good a math. I won't argue with your math.
And Coach, we've got laundry everywhere on the field, right around the 47-yard line. It's got to be a hold, perhaps, on the wide out as he was passing by there.
I sure thought it was a nice block. It may have been holding, but maybe that's why it looks like such a nice block.
Well, but you like to see him down the field. You like to see your wideouts down there working for you. And, you as a coach, that's so hard to get your wideouts. They usually are not the best blockers on the football field. And anytime you got them down there working, you're happy.
Well, I'm sure those guys that practice every day see Houston make the scout team buckle their knees, and they get a lot of practice seeing the scrambling quarterback. So nice job, well coached, except we got a hold on it. So we're going to back it up. It's still going to, I believe, bring up first down for them. We'll see where they go. It's going to go all the way back. Wow, this will be an interesting penalty when they call it.
Coach. This is...
Maybe they called it and I didn't see what the signal was because I don't see them preparing to tell us anything. Going to replay the down.
Down marker says 2nd down and 12, and you got me on that one, Coach. I'm not certain. We got no call, got no notification.
Trips left, Killens up to block, nice pickup. Houston shows his poise. And he tries to throw it at the very end. It's not going to be grounding because number 4 was coming back to the ball. And so it will not be a grounding, just be an incomplete pass.
Coach, that's Nick Moray again, and Nick Moray has been in at fullback, and now he's doing a good job of pressuring the quarterback, playing some snaps along with Hunter Howard in the inside there, 51 as well, and Justin Morgan. They number 6 doing a good job. Hunter Howard, we've heard his name a number of times. I just got to believe they're going to attack this Eagle secondary.
Deep ball thrown by Houston. Nice interception made.
That is Trace McEwen, Coach, his 2nd of the night. Trace McEwen has, again, been one of the centerpieces of their success, and you can see why.
Absolutely. Good, just a knack for the ball, great position, go up and get it at his highest point, all those things that you try to coach, and he can do them.
Well, I really felt like they were going to try to attack the secondary, and really the only thing they've kind of done is just kind of released them down the field and kind of thrown it deep, to be honest. The patience and the pace that we had in the first 2 series through the Mainland offense has kind of gone out the window a little bit as South Lake's had a little success. Coming back out in their split backs, tight end in the ball game. They're trying to run lead or ISO, and let me tell you, it's tough sledding in there.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And I'm seeing big number 79, Dedrick Mack, 6'2", 280 for the South Lake. I'm seeing him 2 yards in the backfield on an ISO play. That's probably not going to be a good thing.
No, it's not, and they do such a good job of getting up the field, and yet they're able to squeeze and tackle dives on the veer. So they can. That Mainland defense is it's an outstanding unit.
And it's formidable, Coach, no question. And we've got a flag.
Got a late flag here. We'll see what we got.
Coach, it looked like maybe T.J. McCoy might have said something there. I'm not sure if he picked the ball up.
It's a 5-yard penalty so far. Not sure either.
Coach, I think he picked the ball up.
Delay a game.
The linebacker pointing at him.
I'm missing the referee signals on these. I'm going to have to pay better attention.
They're doing it fast, Coach, and that's a great thing, right?
It is a great thing.
8:01 remains.
Pop pass again.
We're holding him, and it's a great. Coach, I'm going to tell you right now.
If that was interference on the 3, that was definitely interference.
That right there could get you charges in the real world right there because they are all over.
They mugged him.
They are all over number 15, Alex Gonzalez. And Alex is a pretty big target at 6'3", 205, and he's got people draped all over him. Great job by Guidetti to get that ball out and put it in a place where his guys got a chance to make a play on it, and very surprised we had no call there. Number 3, Brandon Walker, made some plays tonight, split left, and we're going to throw the football on the screen here. Screen to 24, and it is going to close down fast. Number 24, Charles Hutchison, is just swallowed up by the Mainland defense.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, Coach.
We'll bring up fourth down. Going to bring up a punting situation, I would think. Here they come. Here comes the Southlake punt squad. This time we've got number 15, Will Collins, deep, along with number 8, Wilford Taylor.
You got to like, Coach, the same guy that punts it for Brandon Walker, number 3, same guy that punts it, returns the punts for him.
And we got hard pressure.
Oof, and they got pressure, and it's got poor kick.
It's going to go backwards.
Yeah,
it took a good, as Coach Gahagan would say, it took a punter's bounce.
Punter's bounce. It's still only going to be about a 23-yard punt. Mainland will set up shop. 1st and 10 on their 40-yard line. 7:01 remains. 15-0 for the home standing Buccaneers. We're going to take a break right here while they get the ball set. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back to live action. Coach Steve Allen here with Coach Rocky Yoakum. Mainland Buccaneers 15, Southlake Eagles 0. 7:01 remains in the second quarter.
We're going to have
trouble.
Looks like he's
not
gone.
going to catch him,
no,
Coach.
He's gone.
You're not going to catch Adrian Killens. He is going to bust a 63-yarder right here, Coach, I believe, a 67-yarder, and the Buccaneers are back in the end zone.
Yes, they are. That's going to bring the score 21-0 with the extra point pending. And, when I was a coach back in Oklahoma, I always felt like if we had a good sprint relay team, if we had 4 guys on the sprint relay team and they were competitive and they were football players, we had a chance to have a pretty good football team. And Mainland could put 12 different guys on their sprint relay and probably qualify for the state meet.
It's interesting in that, the track success at Mainland has never matched, say, the basketball or the football success. And you're right. When you have those athletes like that and they will compete, and it makes them better in all the sports. And they've got a muddle huddle again.
Well, we're going to go again.
I think they are. And they're going to throw bubble screen out of it. Played well by Southlake, but it's not over. That's Kyle Oliver on the reception, Coach?
Yeah, I believe it was. He's tackled at the 3-yard line. Extra point, no good. So we've got a 21-0 ball game with 6:47 to go in the second quarter. I'll read you another one of these. We have several to read to you here this evening. Once again, on the subject of sportsmanship. Tonight's game in the FHSAA 2014 Class 6A Football Championships is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with members of more than 780 and seniors, high schools, all committed to ensuring Florida's student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association building leaders throughout the team through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship.
And once again, Coach, you're watching and listening to the FHSA football region quarterfinal from Larry Kelly Field, produced by DoubleDEntertainment. Find us on Ustream at DoubleDEntertainment. And here we go. 6:47 remains, 21-0 Mainland, set to kick it off. Coach, the Eagles need something good to happen for them here to try to stay in this football game and can keep it competitive. Ball's kicked, it's going to be fielded about the 11. That's one of those deals. You got to be careful coming in late and jumping over top on the pile. You like to see the aggressiveness, but the officials generally are going to guard the safety of the athletes. And
looks like Southlake will take over on the 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
Nate Anderson, great job right there.
Seabreeze is down 21-7.
We just got an update in the first half. Edgewater 21, Seabreeze 0. 3 wide receivers, split backs in the backfield. Got a loaded up box 7 there, the 8th one looming. They throw the stop route, incomplete. Would appear to be number 21, perhaps. Leonard Robinson can't come up with the play, or is that 11? Nick threw it. So, I tell you what, he throws a good ball, Coach. I'm impressed with Nick. The offense doesn't lend itself to, being real intricate in your pass game.
No, you have to spend so much time on the option that you don't have time to work on the passing game. That's usually the reason. Really
good point there, Coach. And if you just look at the bodies that Mainland's lining up inside, they're just beating those guys up. We got a little screen. We're going to get a hold, and really didn't need one because it was a screen outside, trying to get the ball out here to Kevin Evans, another senior. And, you're trying to get it out quick in a screen type situation, and it looks like we're going to get a hold in the area of a hold. It is a hold. And just doesn't seem to be any reason to hold in that situation.
No. You want to block long enough to make sure that the quarterback can get the ball off, but you don't want to grab anybody on one of those kind of plays, that's for sure.
Got a beautiful night here. I would say the temperature's probably low 50s.
I would say you're right, and it is a beautiful night. We have a great vantage point here that Double D Productions has set up for us. Great fresh air. We're kind of like we're in the crowd. I love it out here. You get a feel for the game instead of being locked up in the box upstairs. So you can kind of feel the electricity in the air down here. I like it.
Absolutely. It's playoff football. Everybody should be excited. Southlake. Looks like they're back to their tight end set. Split back. Nope, we got it 3 wides. Straight drop. Nick Guidetti looking deep. He throws the big route. He does throw a nice ball, Coach.
Sure does. Stepped into it. We got a flag again in the area where you would think pass interference, but I don't know for sure. I'll keep my eye on the white hat, and we'll see if we can see what he's going to signal here. And, of course, they're going to take the penalty if that's what it is. Holding. Holding on the defense.
Okay, he's holding that dig route. And again, Coach, we're going to kind of get a holding call. And you don't mind to see the calls. The consistency for referees, it's hard. I'm sure it is. Everything's bang, bang. It happens fast. But our last one that was potentially an interference call, it was happening slow. The ball's hanging in the air, and he's getting kind of mugged. And this one right here happens really fast, and we get the hold call. So they've cut their splits down here, Coach. Usually they got something going on with that. And that's what you got, trying to use the field to run the fade. And I'm here to tell you, Coach, Nick Guidetti throws a good football. These wideouts are just going to have to locate the ball faster, and that's on them. That's not a bad route. They cut the split down. You knew something was up. The kid throws a great ball, and they're just not making the adjustment to the football. No. Those are big plays that they're leaving.
And they can't afford to do that tonight.
Yeah, you can't leave them out there. No. You've got to make every big play opportunity that you get against a great defense. And those are chunk plays. Those are plays that are going to, make a defensive coordinator go back to his base defense. They're going to, kind of take a little bit of confidence away. And here we go with the 2nd and 10. 3 wideouts and split backs.
Got the triple option.
Westbrook misses a tackle. He's there in the alley. He just misses the tackle on it. Well done by Guidetti. I tell you, Coach, I'm impressed with Nick Guidetti.
I think he's got a cool head, nice arm, and to read the triple option and decide whether to give it, keep it, or pitch it, and then bang, bang. It takes some poise to do something like that.
Absolutely.
Well, let's see here. We've got a second. We're going to move the ball up a little bit here. Got a spot. We had another flag down. Man, there's a lot of flags. Against Mainland, we're going to have us a water break with 5:59 to go. It's 21-0. 5:59 in the second quarter. It will be a 2nd and 1 when we get out of this water break. Southlake will have the ball.
Well, Coach, getting that update from over at the other side of this regional quarterfinal game with the Seabreeze deal, that 21-0, we had been told that Edgewater's offense was quite explosive, and it would appear to be so. They have year in and year out, they have a lot of talent, a lot of speed, and that's the thing that probably is the hardest thing for a team like Seabreeze to match up against. They don't have the speed.
Absolutely, and for those of you who don't follow the playoffs or how it all sets up, Edgewater was the district champion in the same district that Southlake is in, and I believe that Edgewater beat Southlake 55-44 or something like that for the district championship. So the winner of that ball game, Seabreeze Edgewater, will play the winner of this football game, Mainland and Southlake.
And I would believe that football game would be played right here.
If Mainland wins, absolutely. Mainland will host if they win.
Drop back. We got inside blitz, Oliver. They just haven't seen that one all night, Coach. They just, on the fourth down, on the goal line down here on the fumble, that's the same blitz they ran, just kind of a guts kind of scheme. It's the same deal. The guard in the center, they got to get their eyes up, and they've got to pick it up.
Travis Roll, one of the co-defensive coordinators, and Coach Brown, the other defensive coordinator at Mainland, I may have seen something on film in their pass protection that leads them to believe that they're going to have an empty A-gap they can run somebody through, and twice in critical downs they've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the offensive linemen are just going to have to do a little better job up front, or it's kind of a sieve right now.
Man free, well, I don't know. That looks like a cover 2 look now.
And he throws another good ball, Coach.
What a nice catch.
Number 3, Brandon Walker makes the play finally on the fade route. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, a pickup of about 40, and that play has been there for Southlake to make, and finally a wideout makes it. Guidetti has thrown the ball well enough for that play to be there before, and this is the first time they've made it. One of the brightest spots offensively for the Eagles to this point, and they're going to need to be able to do that. You know, anybody that's going to play Mainland is going to have to do that. They're going to have to take their shots.
Randy Baker was on the coverage there. He came out of the game, was slow getting up, so we've got a new defensive back in here at right corner.
Tyree Bostic is in the game, who plays in their nickel package a little bit. Now they're going to try to get it outside, but you have to block Ja'Kai Polite. And horse collar, face mask perhaps, Coach?
I'm going to guess horse collar. I didn't see face mask, but you never know. We got a personal foul, face mask. Just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Marcus Brunson and Ja'Kai Polite, I mean, they're there. I mean, they're like vapors, Coach. They are right there.
That's probably going to move the ball to a first down spot. I would think 15 yards, even though it was in the backfield. Looks like about 11 yards from the first down. So I'm going to say they're going to bring it down to about the 15. It's going to be about 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line.
As usual, Coach, you're spot on, and maybe the A1 officials will be looking for some help next year and get back in the game.
Not in that. No way. No. Thank you, but no thank you.
I'm with you on that, Coach. All right, setting up shop. They're going to draw back, throw the fade route. They've got him again, Coach. It's a touchdown.
It is.
This is like
what? Just right in the bread basket.
I need to tell you,
throw.
Great throw. Brandon Walker on the reception. Touchdown from 16 yards out. Nick Guidetti throwing what I believe to be at least his 8th TD pass of the year, and he is.
That was Tyree Bostic, listed as a wide receiver, playing the corner that got beat on that play.
Who came in for Randy Baker, who got injured, so they go after the right one. Tyree's dad played for me at Atlantic and was a good player for Tommy.
You're showing your age.
I know, Coach. I'm actually just telling it. I could show it, but we're not on, but they don't have cameras. Well, 21-7, 4:32 remains in the half, and we've got a football game, Coach.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Good for Coach Willem and the Eagles to just kind of stay in there and battle. And like you said, you're 8-2. You're not 8-2. It's not smoke and mirrors. You've gotten here. You're here for a reason, and those kids have continued to compete. And I want to tell you something else. I'm a little surprised that we didn't get a late hit to tack onto that, which would give Southlake the same opportunity for onside that Mainland had before, because that ball was caught in the end zone, 2 steps, it's over, and we kind of drug him to the ground. But, you know, I see Coach Wilson having a conversation with Coach Rowland, and I know how those conversations go when you're the secondary and the defensive coordinator, Coach, and the head coach wants to come down and chat with you after touchdowns been scored. It's probably not, can we get together after the ball game and get some pizza?
You are absolutely correct. Southlake will kick off to Mainland. Mainland's deep receivers are on the 10-yard line, not anticipating a deep kick at all.
And Coach, not being as skilled at this as Coach Gahagan, but do I dare say the first touchdown in the season in the first half against Mainland? Their defense?
Yes, because I think that long run early in the season was a picked up fumble. And we got a deep return here by number 8. That's Wilford Taylor. Wilford runs the ball back across midfield to the 40-yard line. Mainland set up. Mainland didn't drop their head on the touchdown either. They just bowed their neck and decided, let's get right back in this thing, and they're in great field position. And now we'll see what Houston and the Mainland Bucks have to offer here. 4:22 to go in the second quarter. Score 21-7. Mainland first and 10 on the Southlake 40-yard line. They're going to come out with trips to the right, single receiver left. Adrian Killens on the left of Denzel Houston, sophomore combination running back, quarterback, waiting for the referee to mark the ball ready for play, and he did. So here we go.
Wilford Taylor is the solo guy out there, and he is singled up with outside leverage. An inside route out of him would be nice. There we go.
Good call, Coach. You ought to think about coaching for a profession. That is a great throw and a great concept.
And they're giving, it's wide side of the field, solo receiver. I'd love to take a lot of credit for that, but that's, these young 8-year-old kids playing video games might be able to diagnose that one.
Here we go. We got wide trips to the right by Mainland.
No help in the middle of the field whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a man-free look. Here comes the blitz. Here comes the run. It pops. And here goes Killens, who may set a record for rushing here tonight. What a great run by Adrian Killens. And we haven't really mentioned the offensive line from Mainland, but they do a fine job. They don't stop. They get after their defenders, and they stay on their pads. And great cut, great score. 27-7, 3:52 in the second quarter, waiting for the extra point.
Tow Truck Harris, number 60, Sean Glenn. You've got Nick Ruse up there. Those guys doing a fine job. And again, they set their trips wide, so wide, and you got man coverage. They bring 3 with you, and they help with the 4th. There's nobody in the middle of the field, whether it's a post route out of the number 1 or a broken running back run up the middle. There's nobody to help you there. And old guy told me one time, a long time ago when I was a young coach, I could never play football without a man in the middle of the field. And I generally kind of adhered to that, and that might have saved Southlake. They may have scored a touchdown anyway, but they might not have scored it on that play. But that safety's just out of position, has too much ground to cover on an athlete, is superior and as fast as the bunch that they're running. And being at practice the other day, Coach, we see it here. We're watching these guys play, but to be at practice and look at the scout teams and look at the other guys that we don't see in the game that are walking around down here on the sideline. Mainland has so many guys who can take that same kickoff and get 52 yards out of it and, catch the post route or catch a little swing pass and turn it into a big play. They have so many athletes, and that's not a detriment to the way they're coached or there's much more to it than just having athletes, but they do have a plethora of great athletes as Nick Baudette gets set to kick it off here. 28-7, 3:51. Just when we thought Southlake had kind of climbed back in, at least to the momentum portion of the game, their momentum is just kind of kicked right in the teeth with a big kick return, a couple play touchdown drive, and here they come. This is why they're number 1 in the state, Coach.
It sure is, and they got a lot of speed on this kickoff coverage team. It's a little pop-up kick to the left, going to be fielded on about the 25-yard line. Don't hesitate.
Courageously.
And we got some hesitation, and we caught it on the 33, ran out of bounds on the 33 or 34-yard line.
Perhaps courageously was not the right term. Number 7 right there on the return, DJ Allen. DJ is just a little fella. He's a junior. He's 5'4", 147. So maybe the courage was just putting his pads on tonight, Coach, because I tell you what.
Just stepping out there.
Just stepping out there tonight, because this is not the bunch that you just want to. This is not child's play out here. This is a good football team. And they're going to show this through the playoffs, and we've been talking about this all year. We feel like this football team has a chance to do some things. Coach, this is their 21st consecutive playoff appearance.
That is a fantastic record, and 21st, you say?
21st.
I'm gonna go on record here tonight saying I will guarantee they'll be in there 23 times in a row. I don't think till Houston graduates, I believe they'll be a playoff team.
I would not disagree with you at all.
And not just Houston, but Killens and the rest of those sophomores, and like you said, Polite being just a junior. All right, we've got another penalty. It's going to bring the ball up here for Southlake to the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. 3:46 to go, 28-7, 1st and 10.
The Eagles need all the help they can get here. They've kind of found a little something with their quick drop. I think the adjustment for Mainland would be just to soften up their coverage a little bit, and they're not going to have time to take 7 steps and drop back and throw.
No.
If they continue to press, though, he's going to be open 15 yards down the field, and you can get that one out. And they're going to run a little toss play here. And Coach, they got a little something here. That's 5 yards. We'll take that, running it into the boundary.
They've moved Florida State commit Westbrook over here to cover the wide receiver. He's typically a safety, I believe, but he's playing corner at this point.
Yeah, I think the injury with Baker and having Bostic out there, they probably felt like that was a better matchup. And he's staying either on the wide field or he's following Walker. And Walker's come both times this way. We're not sure. But they're going to try to take that. They're going to try to take that away, as they've seen that number 3 is the go-to guy on the fade route. Here comes the inside linebacker pressure. They're just showing it, and he drops the ball. It had all the effect it needed to have, Coach.
Yeah, we got a flag thrown in there, I think, but maybe it was just a shoe or something that came off. I'm not sure what it was.
Coach, that's the first mistake Nick Cadetti's made tonight. They sugared the linebackers in there on the pressure. They haven't picked up all night. He got a little jittery, came out from under a little early, laid it on the ground. Mainland recovers. 2:56 left, 28-7. Not what the Eagles needed.
No, sir, it is not. They needed some first downs. They need some points, but they haven't been able to do much here tonight against the Mighty Bucks, and Mainland comes back out still in the first half. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's going to be a doubles formation, it looks like. 2 receivers right, 2 left. I would assume that's Adrian Killens still over there in the backfield. Can't see his number from here, but I think that's who it is. We'll know in a minute.
Still nobody in the end.
We're going to flag. Mainland linemen are clapping their hands like it's an encroachment or offsides. See what the referee's going to think. Now they're backing up. They clap their hands, now they're backing up. So we've got, looks like illegal procedure, dead ball, false start against the Bucks. Brings up 1st and 15, 2:48. Trips right, single receiver to the left.
Wilford Taylor's going to have to run a post route at some point here, Coach.
And this looks like passing splits to me. It looks, I would think, all right, they're going to single receiver the stop route now.
Just take what they give you.
Yeah.
You know, and a good play by the DB, just kind of held his water out there. Again, that's number 9, Chris Freeman. Coach Willen said he's been a great surprise for him. You know, he doesn't come up and try to make a crazy play, get his head down, and give up a huge play there, because he's all by himself. There's nobody else there. Changed their safety look a little bit here. Now they try to go to the sluggo up top. You're going to get
a flag for holding against Mainland, I would guess. So this will be a for not play. Incomplete. If they decline, it'll be 3rd down. If they take the penalty, it'll be 2nd and about.
It's going to get Marcus Tatum, 18. Coach. They're going to get Marcus Tatum on the hold there, number 64. And they did. They tried to come back and run kind of a sluggo deal over there. And Southlake had changed their defense. Their safety got to the middle of the field, and all he did is he just opened up to the solo side that time, and he was looking for that. Houston looked to go there. It wasn't there. When he pulled it down, changed directions, Marcus Tatum, obviously he doesn't know that's going to take place, and just grabs a hold.
Huge penalty.
It really is, Coach.
That looks like an awful long. But anyway, here we go. It's a doubles formation, 2 receivers each side. Adrian Killens to the right of Denzel Houston. We're going to have another penalty. Maybe a timeout Mainland.
Timeout Mainland with 2:03 left, 28-7. Buccaneers going backwards here, but have established themselves in the game right now. And, give Southlake team credit. They are hanging tough. They're continuing to play hard. they just can't turn the football over. You know, and
No, you
on
can't.
the other side of it all as well, we've got 28 points on the board for Mainland, and Mainland has thrown the ball to them twice.
That's right. That's right. Mainland is always just one snap away from taking it to the house, and, you know, you could never relax.
Absolutely.
If this was a 28-7 the other way, I still think Mainland be in the ball game.
I would not disagree with that, Coach. Just too many weapons, and things happen too fast. Their big play potential is just, it's unmatched in our area.
Yeah, absolutely. Has been for years.
Mm-hmm.
And you combine that with the fact that there were not getting any referrals, which means we're being good citizens at school, and as you said, good practice players. Those things all lead to being ranked number one in the state.
Yeah.
And I like to see those things go in combination.
I'm with you, Coach. I think those are some of the things that we, in our philosophies, and being on the sideline, I think that I'd like to think that we share that, and I think it lends itself to not being number one in the state at the start of the playoffs, but perhaps being number one at the end of the playoffs, which is what everybody would
right.
like.
That's when it matters. That's illegal motion, but they didn't call it. Houston's calling for help. He uses the referee, makes the throw to Killens, and we're going to gain about 2 yards, but it's still going to bring up a third and about 22.
And honestly, a great 2-yard game.
Yep.
A 2-yard game that many quarterbacks out there cannot. That's a throwaway and you're back to the line of scrimmage, or even maybe a sack.
It's just fun to watch Houston with his poise of being under duress, but yet I can take the time to tell you to get open and where I'd like for you to get open.
Move right, so
and I'll come on over there to you.
No question.
Mainland in the double set again here. It's third down to about 22. Mainland looks like they're going to take another timeout. And as you've said many times, Coach Allen, you cannot take these first half timeouts with you. They do not carry over, and you just as well use them up here with 1:21 to go. It's 28-7 Mainland. They want to make sure they're in the right play here, because if they're not successful, they'll have to punt the football.
Yeah, and with 1:21 left, you know, maybe not in the result of the game, but it's when it is kind of decided at 35-7 at halftime is, you know, it's pretty much insurmountable for a split back veer team.
Ja'Kai Polite has oozed himself on into the offensive huddle here, and as the coach talks, he turns and looks at Polite, and he looks at the rest of the players, and he turns back and looks at Polite. So I'm thinking Polite may have something to do with what's fixing to happen here on this third down play.
It's a good observation, Coach. Another good observation is that he oozed into the huddle, because at 6'5", 242, he cannot sneak into the huddle.
No. We've still got a lot of conversation.
One of the things that's going to have to take place here, I understand they want to score the ball, but we have a first down issue here. You know, we have 2 downs to get, you know, basically 20, 23 yards, and they've got to take care of that piece of business as well. Now, they've got Polite going wide field as what I would call the X receiver, and there's not covered up over here. 26 and 27. Ford and Walters go over to cover up, which leaves them straight man down here on the bottom side, Coach.
Yeah, they got a free safety who could help, and he's going to get off of it.
He's going to throw it, Coach. He's going to throw it.
Oh, nice try. Beautiful conceived play right there. A hitch pass, and then we're going to have...
We've got 2 in different places. Now, the one could maybe be a roughing. I'm just not sure what this down here is.
Illegal
forward pass. So that means that he threw it forward to Ja'Kai, and Ja'Kai threw it. Would you think that's what it was?
I would guess that's the rule.
Does it have to be a lateral for him to throw it again? Even behind?
Yeah, I guess when I designed a play like that, I guess it was always a backward pass, because I never gave a thought to you couldn't throw it forward. I thought if you caught it behind the line, I know in the NFL you can't do that, but I thought in high school, if you catch the football behind the line, you can throw it again, but I guess you cannot.
Well, Coach, you were spot on, you know, watching what was going on in the huddle, but you knew Polite was going to have some kind of role in it, and there it was. Good call. And again, you know, Southlake stands up, and Brandon Walker's back to receive the punt from Ja'Kai Polite, who's now thrown it, tackled people, and punted it.
That's one way to be a triple threat, right?
Yes, it is. That's one. And that guy's got all kinds of ability.
All right, Mainland is lined up in their punt formation. They have good speed on their coverage team, and you'll see them fan out and cover the field. There goes, we see 6 of them loose.
High kick, kicks it away from Walker. It's going to take a Mainland bounce. Oh, it's going to leave Southlake in with 90 to go and 1:02 remaining. 28-7, Mainland Buccaneers in control. Southlake trying to hang on here.
Southlake will get the opening kickoff to start the second half. Is that correct? I believe Mainland received the first kickoff, but you correct me on that.
That is correct, Coach. That is correct.
So Southlake with 1:01 to go here, it will surprise me if they do much other than just try to maintain possession of the football, knowing that they got the third quarter, they'll come out and get the football here.
But at the very least, they avoided that double score situation.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, they're signaling there was a fumble.
I think it's Kevin McCreary, Coach, and he was at the mesh point. I mean, he was at the mesh point and just...
I'm a little blocked out here, so I can't really see that corner, but I saw some of the Mainland players.
Well, I think he came up with it at the end, but it was dead because it went lateral for 4 yards, and so I think forward progress will stop.
I believe they'll just probably take a knee here. They're staying in the huddle. There's 13 seconds to go on the time clock, or the play clock, 23 on the game clock.
I think it'd be the prudent move, Coach, or maybe, they got to snap it. Oh, they're going to hand it off. Mainland in there digging for it. It's a well-coached defensive team. As soon as we Kyle Oliver limping a little bit coming out of that pile, but they're getting after it.
We have a timeout, Mainland. I'm not able to see again here. I see they stopped the clock.
They have stopped it with 10 seconds, and I think that Mainland has, okay. Coach, I was going to be really disappointed in Coach Woolham if he'd have turned and faced the other way when he called that time when the timeout if Doodle said Southlake. They don't want to do that. They like for that 10 seconds to be gone, and I agree with you. I think that maybe they...
3rd and 8 here. Typical football play lasts 6 seconds. So it'll be about 4 seconds to go when this play is over. I would think Mainland's out of timeouts. They called 2 earlier, so that should be the 3rd one. So there shouldn't be any more timeouts left. And I'm sure both teams have been apprised of that situation. So we'll see how Southlake responds. If Mainland's out of timeouts, they probably will just take a knee. If they're not, they might try to run some sort of a play that eats a little bit more of the time off. Yeah,
maybe some kind of roll, pass. I don't know. We're going to see, Coach. They handed it off last play, so you're a running football team. I guess you've got confidence in your ability to do that. But just as they can make big plays on offense, the Mainland's just as apt to make a big play on defense.
Toss.
Yep.
Almost intercepted.
Coach, this is really, there's 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it for the first half. We're going to take a break here at Larry Kelly Field. 28-7 in this regional quarterfinal game. The Mainland Buccaneers on top of the Southlake Eagles. The Southlake Eagles going to try to regroup at halftime, and the Mainland Buccaneers will get the ball in the second half, and we're going to see how they can respond to being down to the number 1 team in the state. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with some halftime banter